Hello and welcome to the Kundalini podcast. That was Zen. This is Tao. I'm Vivek Kovekar. Namaste. This is episode 92. I'm going to continue on the subject yesterday and tell people about something which is a wonderful analogy I found out about a Formula One car and what it used to be, a race car, how it used to be in the past and how it is today. That's what we do with our minds. Our mind is constantly, it has so many thoughts and emotions coming up at us. I saw a beautiful show recently called Physical on Apple TV Plus. It shows this woman's inner chatter. It's a wonderful spiritual example. The inner chatter that keeps telling you, I'm not good enough, I'm bad. She says worse words, but constantly pushing herself to negate herself, to push towards something bigger. Now, let me caution people on this kind of motivation too. You're nothing, you're nobody, and push yourself. Don't do that. Be gentle with yourself. And sometimes it's not possible. People might say, oh, easy for you to say. You have an awakening. Well, I still had to put in effort. The awakening only made me aware of how much there was to do, how much chaos existed within me, how much of it I had to get rid of, and how much of it was just cycles I had set up of give and take, and how I had to, with restraint, actually be calmer and not push myself too much. Because your body is yelling something. It is giving you warning signs of stopping. You see red flags, you stop. After that, you don't continue in an activity that is negative towards you. A negative activity that will be harming towards your future. Your mind is perturbed. All of this comes afterwards. First, you don't even know how to recognize the chaos, how to know the thoughts that are not yours, that are being programmed into you through television, through other means. Somebody said something and you latch on to that. And there's a cascade that begins automatically. Your job is to stop that cascade before it begins. Don't let the seeds take root. And then, even by seeing the thought as something that is optional, a choice, you can voluntarily choose not to have those thoughts and not create those cascades. It does become very simple. Now it seems simple, elementary. Like Sherlock Holmes used to say, elementary. And that, for it to become elementary, you have to have a inbuilt mechanism that corrects yourself. That also comes from the habit of meditation, stopping bad thoughts, and first injecting in good thoughts into your brain. That is your own responsibility. How you do it, how you prevent yourself from having bad thoughts, and how you are assisted by positive affirmations or mantras that set up positive cascades in your mind, repeated over and over in a helpful way to help you make sense of all the chaos around you. So having those thoughts is optional and voluntary and completely something within our grasp. This is a universal truth. This is not for a particular kind of person. Some people might need it more than others because of the hectic lives they live. But if you have had a moment of luxury to read a book, to be able to educate yourself through YouTube videos, and to have that mindset of something is wrong, I need to correct it. How do I get there? It is through your own efforts. And those efforts directed towards the best practices set up the right patterns within you subconsciously. These includes all the methods that I have been talking about. Alternate nostril breathing, positive affirmations, meditation, and mindfulness. So I came across the analogy of race car development. In the past, they made these metal hunks, big, strong pieces of metal that were great cars, the best technology of that era. And they thought that the driver would be safe in these vehicles in case of an accident because you're putting them in something strong. Now, later on, as the science developed better and they had crash test dummies and airbags, etc., they realized that actually the impact is borne by the car itself. So, if you make it easy for that car to break apart upon impact and design it in such a way that the person inside the car is not affected by the impact as much, the shock, and remains calm, remains, not calm, but remains healthy. No major damage is done. So I'm using a similar analogy to modern Formula One cars. You go through life dealing with all kinds of things, every kind of stress imaginable, every kind of problem that you have to solve. And yes, your mind has to be used for those purposes. However, it doesn't have to be automatic. It doesn't have to be something that you activate certain things within you, stress, cortisol levels, and your functionality, productivity goes down because of some emotion. And all of that has to be countered, and you have to go through your day. How do you do that? Well, you do it by preparation. It's not when you are receiving that, whatever cascade of emotions was set off by an encounter with the person that you talked to. It's what you did before in preparation of something like that, but not even knowing what it was that you were preparing for. That's the idea behind using mantras. Kavach mantras, which are protective, armoring to your aura, to your 7 bodies. And the entire chakric system is protected by invocation towards certain deities using mantras. Now, the more feeling you infuse into that, the more of surrender you give to that method, the more of its benefits you will see. The more times you repeat the mantra, the better it will work on you. With an awakening, with this energy within my spine, I find it easier to assimilate the energy received from mantras into the body. And in fact, it guides me towards these things. So the energy within me, the divine feminine, the Kundalini Devi energy, guides me towards the right action, guides me towards what's best for my aura, so I can be still and the energy can do its work. It wants the best for you. It wants you to be in harmony with your inner spirit and remove all the outside junk, emotional baggage, etc. But to make it work in the most efficient way possible, to make it work in a way where you're receiving the best benefit, you have to surrender yourself. Make the ego go away and accept certain things in your life, like a practice of doing mantras, like the discipline of doing alternate nostril breathing. These have to be done. These have to be performed every day in some way. Some days you'll miss out, other days you won't. But the more times you bring your attention back to it, this method, the whole technique, and more of these you implement knowingly, consciously, with focus, with intent, with certain aspirations you have, with certain problems you're dealing with your own mind, and how to best make the use of these methods for that individual existence. That's the whole path. That's the whole journey. I can guide you up to a certain path because I have the experience and I have found some methods and they seem useful. But I have also realized that these are individualized techniques that are highly based on how much effort you put in and how focused that intent is, with a conscious mind that is awake, perceptive to your own self, everything it goes through, ups and downs, identifying the root causes and distilling the wisdom down to those root causes being removed from your body, from your mind, your psyche, and newer methods, newer patterns brought in to not only dissolve the previous patterns, but make the assimilation of your abilities, your energies, your aspirations, all in congruence with your being. And then you ascend to another level. Because one step has been overcome in at least grasping that there are outside forces within my control. I didn't even know this. I could control and harness these energies, but they are currently in control of my mind. How do I change that? And you begin the process. You start keeping track. Maybe you keep a journal. Maybe you make videos like I do. And you find more and more about yourself. Things that provoke you, things that excite you, and how harmful energies waste time, expend energy that could be devoted, focused towards constructive uses, towards your own psyche, and consequently the productivity, what you create in your work life, in your family life, and it's all in complete harmony through your own efforts. All of this is available to us 24/7. If you are alive, if you are breathing, If you're a conscious human being, these energies are alive and already working on you. What thoughts you listen to, attach to, what thoughts you act upon, where you don't restrain yourself, what discipline and mindset you inculcate. Do you choose to be positive? Where you choose to surrender your ego towards a higher purpose, a higher cause, and allow yourself to be guided by this system of mantras or any other religious practice, spiritual practice that you're doing, and putting it to use in the next step of your life by being in that same moment, being in this moment as you're going through life, cutting away the effect of whatever was in your mind before. Big step towards breaking patterns, then being thankful at the end of the day, receiving all of this wisdom, putting it into use. Thank you, God, for allowing me the chance to do this, to change myself through my own actions. And gradually this builds up into a cascade, done regularly. So it is very, very helpful to have productive output of some kind, writing something down, making a video, to talk to yourself and to talk to others about the effect. Just some positive habits right there in front of you. You just have to do them, bring intent, focus, and your devotion towards your own cause to heal yourself. All into action and bringing about results. That's a very satisfying feeling. So the tools are right there in front of you. The results that I'm talking about happened to me personally. But individual changes are needed for everyone using these. And they should be used with the purest of intents to bring about the best in your life. Abundance, harmony, prosperity, joy, excitement, positivity. And it's a gradual journey. But on the way, you start watching out for these thoughts that make it into a motor that is banging about and you're stuck inside and every vibration is hitting you. Without that happening, what happens is, when an adverse event happens in your life, you're more likely to just dissipate the energy through your training and stay and come back in your calm equanimity as soon as possible. Thus strengthening your mind one more step, thus creating a bigger gap between the thoughts that are evoked in your mind and you latching onto it, and your mechanism of putting better thoughts kicking into gear right away. All of these are results of actions that you have undertaken. Anyone can start at any point. Don't even think, oh, I wasted so much time. Start right now. And 5 years later, you will say, oh, I'm glad I did waste these 5 years and I did this every day. The result of doing something every single day and seeing the results for you, knowing the immediacy of the day, of seizing the day and doing something productive with it, was brought to my mind when I started taking pictures on Instagram and posting them. When I put them every day, 2 or 3 or 4, 5, whatever it might be, you see that a month has passed and you have some productive output. You have grown your productive output. And that came by putting that discipline of doing it every day. And the same exact thing works on these mental methods, emotional methods, and how to harness your mind to allow it to take the shocks, impacts of regular life and still be stronger, come out stronger, have methods to make yourself even stronger as a result of those experiences. I hope this was helpful. This is Vivek Govekar signing off. Peace, love, blessings. Be well.